Negativity is one of the most powerful blessings blockers in life, yet it often creeps into our hearts unnoticed. It starts small, a complaint here, a doubt there, a sigh of frustration, and before long, it becomes the lens through which we see the entire world. Negativity is like a fog that clouds your vision of what's possible. Even when doors are opening, you can't recognize them because you are too focused on the walls that stand in your way. It's like standing in a garden of opportunities, but only staring at the weeds. When a person lives in constant negativity, they begin to condition their mind to expect disappointment. Every challenge is exaggerated, every setback becomes permanent in their thinking, and every blessing is minimized or dismissed. Instead of saying, I have a new day to try again, they say, nothing ever works out for me. Instead of noticing the opportunities in a storm, they only complain about the rain. Over time, this pattern of thinking doesn't just reflect reality, it shapes it. The more negativity you embrace, the more you attract situations that confirm it. Negativity doesn't just rob you of joy, it robs you of perspective. Blessings often come disguised as challenges. A job loss may be the push that opens the door to entrepreneurship. A failed relationship may lead you to discover your true worth. A delay may protect you from a bigger disappointment. But when negativity is all you see, you label these moments as curses instead of hidden gifts. You miss the blessing because your heart and mind are tuned to complaint rather than gratitude. Living in negativity also poisons your relationships. People are naturally drawn to light, encouragement, and hope. If your words are always critical, your energy always heavy, and your outlook always dark, people begin to distance themselves. Opportunities are often tied to people, and if negativity isolates you from healthy connections, you unknowingly block the very blessings that were meant to reach you through them. The truth is, negativity cannot coexist with gratitude. They fight for the same space in your mind. Where gratitude sees abundance, negativity sees lack. Where gratitude says, I am thankful for what I have, negativity says, it's never enough. Where gratitude attracts more blessings, negativity repels them. That's why the first step to breaking this cycle is awareness. When you catch yourself complaining, pause and shift your perspective. When you feel yourself sinking into negativity, challenge yourself to name 3 things you're grateful for in that very moment. Negativity is not just an emotion, it's a habit. And like all habits, it can be broken. The fog can lift. You don't have to live with a mindset that keeps you blind to the good around you. When you start to replace complaint with gratitude, criticism with encouragement, and doubt with faith, you begin to see blessings everywhere. They were always there. You just couldn't see them through the fog of negativity. Holding on to unforgiveness is one of the heaviest burdens a human heart can carry. Bitterness clings like chains, weighing you down no matter how far you try to go in life. It's often said that carrying bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer, and yet many people live this way without realizing the damage it causes to their spirit, their relationships, and even their blessings. When you hold a grudge, you keep your soul tethered to the past. Instead of moving forward, you relive the hurt, replay the betrayal, and rehearse the pain over and over again. In doing so, you give more power to the one who hurt you than they deserve. Forgiveness doesn't excuse what they did, and it doesn't erase the wrong, but it does release you from being imprisoned by it. By refusing to forgive, you are not protecting yourself. You are blocking peace, joy, and healing from entering your life. Unforgiveness doesn't just live in your heart. It spills into every area of your life. It can make you distrustful of new relationships, doubtful of genuine kindness, and resistant to love. The walls you build to keep out the memory of the person who hurt you also keep out the very blessings trying to reach you. Many times, the people who walk into your life with pure intentions are punished for the scars left behind by others. Until you release unforgiveness, you risk carrying old wounds into new chapters, poisoning fresh opportunities with yesterday's pain. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean forgetting what happened, nor does it mean pretending you weren't hurt. Forgiveness is not about saying, "It was okay." It's about saying, "I refuse to let this hold power over me any longer." It's about reclaiming your peace, your joy, and your freedom. When you forgive, you are not letting someone else off the hook. You are letting yourself off the hook. You are choosing to heal, to rise, and to no longer be chained to the weight of bitterness. Think of forgiveness as a key. As long as unforgiveness sits in your heart, doors to blessings remain locked. Peace cannot flow, joy cannot flourish, and love cannot fully bloom. But when you choose forgiveness, that key unlocks doors you didn't even know were closed. Suddenly, you begin to see life differently. You feel lighter, your perspective shifts, and your heart is no longer consumed by what was done to you, but open to what's possible for you. Yes, forgiveness is hard. Yes, it takes courage. Yes, it requires strength. But ask yourself, what is the cost of holding on? How many nights of lost sleep? How many blessings missed because your heart was too heavy? How many opportunities blocked because you couldn't let go of what already passed? Holding on to unforgiveness keeps you chained to the hurt. Forgiveness, on the other hand, breaks the chains and allows blessings to flow freely into your life. Comparison is one of the most subtle yet destructive thieves of blessings. On the surface, it looks harmless. Just a glance at what others have, a quick thought about where they are in life versus where you are. But when it becomes a habit, it slowly eats away at your joy, your confidence, and your ability to fully embrace your own journey. Comparison steals joy and plants seeds of jealousy, leaving you blind to the blessings that are already yours. The danger of comparison is that it distracts you from your unique path. Each person has their own story, their own timeline, and their own calling. Yet, when you measure your worth by someone else's progress, you reduce your life to a race that was never yours to run. You begin to see their success as your failure, their blessing as your lack, their moment as your loss. Instead of celebrating what they have, you diminish what you have. Instead of watering your own garden, you waste time staring at someone else's not realizing their flowers grew because they nurtured their soil, not because life skipped over you. When you live in constant comparison, you overlook the unique gifts within you. You may envy someone's achievements, not realizing that you carry strengths they don't. You may want their platform, their influence, their lifestyle, without knowing the sacrifices, struggles, and storms they endured to get there. Comparison creates illusions. It shows you the highlight reel of others while making you despise the behind the scenes of your own life. And in that state, you fail to recognize the blessings that are unfolding in your own story. Blessings flow when you shift your focus inward, when you stop measuring yourself against someone else's journey and start honoring your own growth. Progress may seem slow, but slow progress is still progress. Someone else may appear ahead, but what looks like delay for you may actually be divine preparation. You don't need to follow someone else's timeline when you're walking in your own purpose. The truth is, no one can block a blessing that was written for you, and no one can walk in the destiny designed for you. Comparison is an insult to the uniqueness of your life. It says, what I have isn't enough. It says, my blessings are less valuable. But the moment you release comparison, you open your eyes to the truth that your path is just as meaningful, your blessings just as real, and your journey just as worthy. Instead of jealousy, you begin to feel inspiration. Instead of envy, you begin to feel gratitude. And instead of living in lack, you start to live in abundance, because you finally see that your blessings were never missing. You were just too busy looking at someone else's to notice them. Discipline and consistency are the hidden engines of success. While talent can open doors and passion can spark the journey, it is discipline and consistency that keep you moving forward long enough to see the fruit of your labor. Success is not built on one time, effort, or rare bursts of energy. It is built on small, repeated actions that compound over time. Ignoring discipline and consistency is like planting seeds, but never watering them. No matter how rich the soil, nothing will grow. When laziness, procrastination, or a lack of commitment creeps in, progress slows to a halt. Opportunities that could have blossomed remain dormant, not because they weren't available, but because you weren't ready to receive them. And blessings often come with responsibilities attached. Dream jobs require preparation. Strong relationships require effort. Financial growth requires wise choices. Without discipline, even the greatest opportunities slip right through your hands. The truth is, blessings don't just fall into our laps fully developed. They require us to grow into them. Imagine being handed a business before learning how to manage money, or being given influence before learning humility. Without the consistency to sharpen your skills and the discipline to steward what you have, blessings can turn into burdens. That's why so many people feel like opportunities pass them by. They were praying for the blessing, but neglecting the discipline required to sustain it. Discipline is not punishment. It is alignment. It is choosing to focus your energy on what truly matters instead of scattering it across distractions. It is saying no to what weakens you so you can say yes to what strengthens Consistency is not about perfection. It is about showing up daily even when motivation fades. Anyone can be motivated for a moment, but discipline keeps you moving when the excitement wears off. When you embrace discipline and consistency, doors begin to open because you are prepared to walk through them. The habit of studying a little each day prepares you for the promotion. The habit of saving consistently prepares you for financial freedom. The habit of showing up faithfully in your work, relationships, and personal growth prepares you for greater responsibilities. What looks like luck to others is often just the visible fruit of invisible discipline. On the other hand, ignoring discipline creates cycles of frustration. You start projects but never finish them. You dream big but quit at the first challenge. You pray for blessings but ignore the habits that would allow you to hold on to them. Without discipline, even answered prayers can slip away, not because you weren't deserving, but because you weren't ready. The good news is that discipline is a choice you can build, and consistency is a muscle you can strengthen. Every small step you take in faithfulness builds momentum over time. What once felt difficult becomes natural, and what once felt out of reach becomes your reality. Blessings flow not just to the prepared, but to the consistent. When you align your daily actions with your greater vision, you stop blocking your blessings and start stepping into them. Your tongue has power far greater than most people realize. The words you speak are not just sounds that vanish into the air. They are seeds planted into the soil of your life. What you repeatedly declare has the ability to shape your mindset, influence your actions, and ultimately determine your reality. When you constantly say things like, I can't, it's impossible, or are, while never succeed, you are planting seeds of failure long before life has even tested you. Those words take root, and in time, they grow into a harvest of discouragement, missed opportunities, and blocked blessings. Negative speech is dangerous because it programs your own mind to believe limitations. When you tell yourself you cannot succeed, your actions begin to align with that belief. You stop trying as hard, you shrink back when challenges arise, and you sabotage your progress with doubt before you even give yourself a chance to win. In essence, your own words become the walls that keep you from stepping into your blessings. Words carry energy. They can either build you up or tear you down, propel you forward or hold you back. When you declare defeat over your life, you invite defeat to stay. When you constantly criticize yourself, you weaken your confidence and blur your vision. On the other hand, when you speak faith, even in small ways, you begin to open doors to blessings. Saying, I will find a way, I am capable, I trust the process may seem simple, but those words plant seeds of hope and possibility that grow stronger with time. The truth is, life is already full of challenges. You will face obstacles, delays, and setbacks. That is inevitable. But when your own words turn against you, you double the resistance. Instead of fighting only external battles, you now fight the internal battle of self-sabotage. Blessings require an atmosphere of faith to grow. If your words are constantly drenched in doubt, suffocate the very opportunities waiting for you. Choosing to speak life is not about ignoring reality. It's about aligning your words with possibility. You may not have the job yet, but saying, "I'm preparing for the opportunity," sets you in motion. You may be struggling financially, but saying, "I'm learning to manage my money and attract abundance," shifts your focus toward growth instead of despair. Speaking faith doesn't instantly change your situation, but it changes you, your perspective, your energy, and your willingness to keep moving forward until blessings manifest. Remember, words are self-fulfilling prophecies. When you declare doubt, you live in doubt. When you declare faith, you create space for miracles. Every blessing begins first in the heart, then in the mind, and then in the words you choose to release. That is why speaking life is not just an option. It's a habit that positions you to receive what's meant for you. Replace doubt with declaration, defeat with determination, and fear with faith. With every word of hope, you attract blessings closer into your life.